So yeah, this is our bonus episode. This is second last bonus episode of the season. We're almost done, man. Yeah, we're almost done. It's almost over.
Go back to watching your other favorite podcast.
Yeah, you can go back to because none of them exist. So this one we're going to be talking about in Canada. What happened recently in Alberta? Alberta was up for the last 4 years. Have been run by the NDP, which is like our social democratic party. It's like that's the one I like to vote. But it's like the pie in the sky. You know, everyone's like, "Oh no!"
Those are
like,
options. Yeah.
Really, you're voting for that? Why don't you vote for a unicorn? Anyway, it's kind of a waste.
Gotcha.
We say we're not a two-party system, but we are. So anyway, in Alberta they voted in their conservative. It's the UCP, United Conservative Party. Who has been like involved with some racist shit and homophobic shit for like they were behind the yellow vest too, right?
Oh, yes, they were.
Yeah, they were. So basically, they had a couple of party members step down. They had Eva Kyriakos and Kaylin Ford Kenny. Which is the whitest name ever. They stepped down. Kaylin Ford Kenny, I know she said she made some comments about the great white replacement. She was talking on Facebook. She got busted talking on Facebook Messenger. I don't even understand why these people use social media to talk about this shit. She warned the person she was communicating with on Facebook Messenger that such a conversation was better had not in text, and ideally where you're playing devil's advocate. Why would one march in pride? Ford wrote. I mean, they trace their origins to Stonewall riots. You know, the Stonewall riots,
right.
Then emerged as a celebration of vice and transgression. What are the redeeming values? That's her comment on homosexuality. What are the redeeming values of homosexuality? These are church people too, right? And then what is she? Oh, yeah, she said something, her messages were provided source, Muslim conservative with deep ties to the party. She said something about Muslims. Oh, she said, in one exchange, Ford lamented that white supremacist terrorists face a double standard compared to Islamic terrorists.
Say that again? Repeat that?
She said, Ford lamented that white supremacist terrorists face a double standard compared to Islamic terrorists. So, so she's saying that, I guess white supremacist terrorists have it harder than Islamic.
Get the blood clot.
She said when the perpetrator is an Islamist, the denunciations are intermingled with breathless assurances that they would not represent Islam, that Islam is a religion of peace, etc., Ford wrote. When the terrorists are white supremacists, that kind of soul-searching or attempting to understand the sources of their radicalization or their perverse moral reasoning is beyond the pale. It's like she's never read an article. It's like she's never read a newspaper when they that poor white guy he had a troubled home.
No, sorry. She probably read the article and said, "Yo, these guys aren't being sympathetic enough to his pain."
So she had this. She stepped down. She was in the Calgary riding. She stepped down, and then some other woman said some other racist shit. I guess that was Kaylin Ford, and Eva Kyriakos said some other racist shit about gays or homophobic, horrible. So, but what you sent me an article recently that this party that just won is like, well, we're going to ignore their transgressions because who the fuck cares? We're worried about jobs.
We're worried about it's an NDP trap. It's trapped by the NDP.
Yeah.
If we respond to their racism, then we lose.
How is it a trap? No one told your people to say racist shit. How the fuck did I get into this world?
Hey, bro, you've been to Calgary?
Oh yeah. I don't go anymore. I don't go to Alberta.
Oh shit. Okay, that province. Yo, Alberta.
Well, do you blame me? Look, they don't mind fucking racists running their country, or running their province.
Yeah, I have a friend who works there. She told me, yeah, wait, no, I knew this one black dude who moved there. Oh, actually, he's back. Okay, I'm not sure what that's about, but I don't know if that has anything to do with the election. But I was thinking of all my, black friends who moved there, and now they're back. I wonder if that has to do. I should talk to them about it. But all I was going to say is, Alberta to me was that province the teacher mentioned to us in geography class. That's all it was, man.
Yeah.
One of those provinces I had to memorize. Like, I have to remind myself, oh, right, they're part of Canada. And I don't disrespect to Alberta. This is just me expressing my ignorance of your potentially beautiful province.
I worked out there for years, and I always I've always had like some sort of racial problem with like people I worked out there with, be like bookers who would just be like, I headlined like a lot of places around the world. I've headlined all over. I've been on TV. I've been on TV for 9 seasons on a network TV show, and I was never allowed to headline in Calgary or Alberta.
Wow.
Or Edmonton. Never allowed to headline in there. Never. Still
they don't
not.
They don't have like colored only comedy clubs down there?
I don't know. I just stopped going out there. I'm sure there's black guys that work out there, but I was an uppity one, right? I remember one time I went out there to do shows, and they had me middle for this guy, and I crushed him all week long, to the point where like this woman went to go see the guy, like one of the people that worked in the office went to go see him, and she was mad at me because he bombed after me.
Wow.
So then I go to Edmonton, and I get they stack the show to try to crush me with comics before me, and then after the show, 3 comics, the headliner, the MC, and the middle or the opener comes up to me and goes, "We don't want your type of comedy here."
Yeah. Do you know what they meant by your type of comedy?
I don't know. I just assume it's some race shit. Well, because who says that shit? Like, it's like, oh, you're the comic you hired's doing well, but you're upset about it?
Right. Break it down. I mean,
like, come on.
Was it the Rosa Parks joke? What the fuck? What are we talking
I
about?
have no idea. It was just like, so I like that was years ago, and I went back. I headlined different clubs, or no, I worked at different. I did headline a club. They gave me beef the whole fucking time. They complained about how I wasn't doing the act that they wanted, but I was killing. And then I also talked to an audience member who came up to me after a show. He's like, "Oh, you're from Toronto. Oh, you're a bunch of sodomites." I have a lot of bad experiences in Alberta. Just a lot of bad experiences, and I just don't go anymore. And then this is not shocking to me. In fact, you know the dude that said we were racist and was like defending blackface with those kids? Remember, he called us racist and he blocked us, Daryl Mack. Alberta born.
We call it hot homie. Yes.
Oh, who cares? You're not listening to this.
Alberta born.
Those are all. It's all anecdotal right now, but I'm just trying to say that I'm not shocked that they would be like, "Oh fuck, well, why?" It's about jobs, not about.
See, okay. Did I already mention? So I in preparation for the show, I listened to The Current with what's her name again? Tremonti. Damn it! I listen to the show all the time. I keep forgetting her name. Anyways, shout out to The Current. Every once in a while, they keep me informed. All right. So with regards to what's going on with Jason Kenney and Alberta, they had a discussion with a whole bunch of smart people, I'm going to assume, and the word racism. I don't think the word racism came up once. They talked about the economy.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're focused on. And the environment and all kinds of things. But to me was, wait, UCP, isn't that party where they had to drop a few other people saying some racist shit? That's the first that came to mind. None of that came up.
Well, like,
right?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I guess so I'm reaching a point to what if, right? What if we're in a situation that we have to accept that, okay, look, man, in Canada, we don't really give a fuck, you know what I mean? We got to focus on eating, then we'll worry about, who's calling you nigga, okay? Then we'll worry about that. And if that's the situation we're in, Gavin, I'm sorry, man, but I'm going to have to turn into Uncle Ruckus, man, for survival purposes.
I'm going to have to you're going to say, you lovely white people and your lovely whiteness. You should ignore this racism and take care of yourself first. It's like an air mask on a plane. You got to put the mask on yourself first. It's like
when you mentioned was it Kaylin Ford and who's the other lady?
Whatever.
Kira. Yeah, and I loaded it up like, fine white woman. You know what I mean? That was my inner ruckus coming out.
Well, here's a problem with that theory, right? Like you're right, you're right based on that theory, but a lot of studies have come out and said that like you can't disconnect. Like, okay, for example, in the States, a lot of people are voting party lines and they're voting against their own best interest. Like, and we've seen this, right? Like, so like a new study came out in the United States where a lot of conservatives are voting against climate change or fixing climate change, where when Bush was in power, they agreed. It was like a nonpartisan thing. But now, because of Obama, they don't want to vote for the things that Obama backs, so they are against climate change and fixing it. Look at Ronald Reagan when he introduced the welfare queen, and people voted against welfare. Now you have a lot of white people dying. You have a lot of white people suffering because they don't have welfare because and here's the trick: there was no black woman that was a welfare queen. They made it up. It was a white woman. And scamming the system. So they voted against their own best interest based on racism. Now we come here, and they're like, oh, we should just ignore racism. We should just ignore it. And people don't understand that Jason Kenney wants to make two-tier healthcare. He wants to make a healthcare for you and I, and another healthcare for the people with what he calls hardworking Albertans. Hardworking ones, of course, right? So
I see a white man when you say a word like that. Hardworking Albertan.
Because it's simple strategy to vote based on your biases and your fears and like and to go, okay, well, and that's how they slip their packages in. They go, okay, well, fuck it, like who cares about racism? And don't worry, we're gonna deal with the economy. And they're conservatives. They want to fucking pay less taxes. They want to cut your fucking the social welfare net. They want to cut all these things, and you're gonna be like, oh well, they're gonna bring jobs back. It's like, bitch, they ain't bringing no fucking jobs back.
They're fattening their own pockets.
Right.
Yeah. That's what gets me about I don't want to say it's unique to Canadian politics, but I think I feel like in Canadian politics the bullshit is heavier, it's bigger. It's not like grab 'em by the pussy bullshit. I mean, it's more like, hey, the problem is the economy. The problem is the immigrants. The problem is this. And meanwhile, I'm trying to steal your. It's not like. I think this is why people like Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, AOC.
She's getting popular because she's saying shit that, hey, I actually relate to. These are the things I'm actually worried about.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, it's through the fog. They're getting rid of the fog, and it's, for me, it's so hard when a Canadian politician talks for me to say, okay, to agree with them or relate to them. So 9 times out of 10, they create problems, or they want me to believe, hey, what you need to worry about is the boogeyman. I don't believe in the boogeyman. You know what I mean? Anyway, Well,
it's also like, you look at what Kenny's talking about is like, he's like, let's make Alberta amazing again, which is, he didn't say that, but it's basically like, let's make it the power it was once, because Alberta was like, oh, we were making all the money with the oil. It's like, okay, well, how can you deal with oil and also worry about the environment? I don't understand how that works. How do you fight to increase oil jobs and deal with the environment? But I also understand, okay, we shouldn't be selling our oil to the States and then back to us. I get all that stuff, but I mean, like what it says to me when you're like, we don't care about racism and homophobia, it's like you're not including everyone in your party.
There we go.
And you're expecting everyone to go, oh, you're right, I should shut the fuck up about why I feel excluded from this shit.
Hey, there's even anti-Semitism in there too. One of the guys,
to white people, they're not real problems.
That's what I'm getting at, man.
Yeah, they're not real problems.
Like I said, if that's the case, if that's the situation we're in, then I'm taking off my dashiki and putting on. How do black conservatives dress anyway?
Yeah, well,
buy some tap dancing shoes.
Yeah, you got to get the Larry Elder collection, or the Candace Owens, collection.
Candace Owens needs
fucking Sears.
Someone said on that podcast I was listening to, the current one. He suggested that, hey, Andrew Scheer is not the leader. He's not the leader of the conservative. It's either going to come down to Doug Ford or Jason Kenney.
Jesus Christ!
What I'm saying, I'm like, damn. I mean, Nothing about Andrew Scheer says leadership to me.
No, yeah, and here's my question: am I wrong to Am I wrong in not worry? It's not that I'm not worried about the economy. I'm not worried about jobs, but am I wrong to also balance intersectionality in that? Am I wrong too?
No, it's not that. It's not that. Okay, no, it's a good question. It's like that question that I asked her on Facebook. I said, "What do you do when the majority, God forbid, right? Majority of, I'm rephrasing here, of Canadians believe in the boogeyman?
Yeah.
All right. Do you either A, take advantage of that fear, of that irrational fear, or B, dedicate your life to convincing people, hey, folks, there is no boogeyman?
Yeah.
Problem is, majority, that's a lot of people. That's a lot. I guess I'm saying the B is a losing proposition.
Well, but see, your question it relies on the fact that the people you're asking the question to, or if you believe in the boogeyman, you have to be like, well, you're assuming that they're stupid, and you're assuming they don't know that they benefit from white supremacy. They benefit from it. They're not dumb. They benefit from it.
They do, but they don't tell themselves that. It's like, hey, look, I'm living a lifestyle. I've convinced myself that I'm the good guy. When they replay my story, I'm the good guy in this story.
But they know they benefit. I just watched it. I saw a meme of someone saying it wasn't a meme. It was someone in a chat room. They just made I forget. Oh, Mortal Kombat 2. So if you win as Jax in the new Mortal Kombat video game, you get to go back in time and make slavery not happen. Oh, so chuds are now mad. They're making YouTube videos where they're complaining that this is this is white genocide. It's an attack on white people. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, do you see what I'm saying?
Quit bringing up slavery.
Well, what I'm saying is their identity, their whiteness is tied to slavery. To owning people.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah,
so,
I get that part.
And I'm not saying all white people, but I'm saying that for me to believe that they don't understand that they are afforded certain benefits in this society, for me to believe that they don't understand that they are the dominant people in power and in charge, and they've built their system on bodies. I'm sorry. I'm done giving them that benefit of the doubt.
Oh, that benefit of the doubt. Yeah,
yeah. I'm done. I'm finished. I know they vote. I know, and I can picture a white dude listening to this podcast. I have him in my head. He's probably an Albertan dude. He's listening to this podcast and he hears us saying how who cares about racism? Get over that shit. Just
get over that shit.
We got to worry about the economy. I'm sick of this identity politics.
Yep.
and I'm like, okay, so when do we deal with my problem?
First, I got to give you props for that impression, bro.
You're welcome.
I'm giggling
you.
over there. But
I appreciate it. We need an award show for impressions of angry white dudes.
And two, we might be able to go undercover if it comes down to it.
We really, shit. We got to get that Candace Owens collection. We could go undercover.
But listen to this podcast and sick of this shit. I bring back to my in response to what you just said. I bring back my analogy of what it's like to be white. It's like, again, for me, the closest thing was my experience on a resort. On a resort, and I was just enjoying myself. Pina colada was coming to me. I was oblivious of the suffering of the employees around me, because I know they have it hard. You know what I mean? They're making minimum wage, but their smile has you convinced that you're in tropical paradise.
Never mind,
no one's being exploited.
Hotel workers, like women, like maids and stuff. The sexual assault is insane,
bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man. That happens so much.
Yo,
continue.
In my Cuba resort, I was in the resort where all the poor white people live in. Yeah, they were at my resort. So Hamilton was representing.
Yeah, of course.
Vaniato was there.
Yeah,
think of all the shitty neighborhoods where white people still make the majority. That's who was in my resort. And these fuckers, when they got drunk, were being noisy, were
Yep.
being shit that wouldn't have been tolerated in Canada. But these guys are like, hey, we want to keep our job, so we're not gonna, yeah, senor, spill beer for the third time. Yeah, I clean it up.
Look at this fucking guy, fucking. Like, hey, here, fucking have a shot with us.
You know what I
You
mean?
fucking. No self-awareness, no like idea of no empathy, no idea how these other people feel. Just fucking, this fucking food sucks. What the fuck? Ugh.
Exactly, man. Fuck. Anyways, yeah. You know what I got problems? In my country, you got to worry about taxes.
Yeah,
Like,
what do you think about your fucking people coming to my country all the time? What do you think about that shit? Like, look, no, I don't want to. I remember I came back from my honeymoon. We were going to go to New Orleans, but we chose to go to California. And when we were in San Francisco, New Orleans had Katrina, had the hurricane. And so I come back and I'm like, this dude that lives on my mother-in-law's street comes up to me and he starts arguing with me about fucking Katrina. He's like, why are they looting and shit like that? I'm like, well, they're stealing diapers and shoes. Why do you think they're doing that? And what do you think, that I'm the representative? Like fucking, like the balls on these fucking people.
He didn't think you were. Excuse me. He didn't know you. Woo! I'm okay.
You okay?
He didn't know you were from out of town?
No, but never mind that I was from out of town. He was angry with me on behalf of angry with me like I am representing every black person in New Orleans.
That's what I'm getting at. I know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I'm from Canada, dude, and he's like, well, what the fuck? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh god damn it! Like, why does that make you searching yourself? While it makes you so angry that people who are suffering. Poor people suffering through a hurricane are stealing just shit. Search in yourself and figure that out. Why that makes you angry? Because you're not even connected to this.
Yeah.
Why are you upset that they fucking broke into Target? Like, search through yourself.
And don't get started on the double standards the media was giving to.
Oh yeah.
What was it? White people survive.
Yeah.
Black people are stealing.
Why black people are looting?
No, but for white people coming out of Walmart. With shit, and it's like, oh wow, they're struggling to survive.
But
look
how unfair it is how they cover white supremacist terrorists. It's so unfair. It is. Just.
Have a heart.
I'm
what
so.
What would white Jesus do? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of this conservative party that's racist as fuck, but I'm not supposed to say they're racist because that's mean as shit. I'm sick of like it's.
So the new question is, how do you survive in this country now?
I
joined the majority who was like, racism is not that kind of.
Well, we got to stick together and we got to call it out.
Actually, I saw that on the. I think I didn't realize this, but black people are torn on the whole concept of allies. Some black people are like, "Fuck it, we're on our own with this shit. We stick to ourselves," and another half are like, "Nah, we gotta." When shit goes down, we need our allies. We need the quote unquote good white people. We need the Muslims. We need all of them and everything like that. But
they got to prove it. Like, I'm all for allies, but they got to prove it. And I ain't going out of my way. You got to prove it to me.
You got to prove it to me.
Yeah. I don't have enough energy in my life to. When I friend people, when people ask friend requests on Facebook now, it's like I do everything. It's like you're getting a job at fucking Fort Knox with me. I'm just like, I can't, because I know, like, I go through everything because I'm like, I just need to see a political thing that you post.
Yeah.
Says I don't need what about white people in South Africa? I'm like, all right, done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy. I just don't.
Yeah, man. I had one of my coworkers. He good dude. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a Leaf fan, but whatever. Anyway, so he added me as friends, and we've never discussed politics.
Good.
And a part of me was like, nah, dude, I don't want to ruin your beautiful white fantasy world that you live in. You don't want this, man. I don't want you coming up. Hey, you post a lot of racial shit and stuff like that. Because he's got a beautiful life. I'm like, yeah, man. I don't want to be that guy.
Dude, you talk too much. You talk a lot about racism. Maybe you have a chip on your shoulder.
You know what I mean?
Like, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I'm just, yeah, man.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say is my question to you and the listener is listeners, how do we survive? How do we move on from now? Now that we know, like Quebec, Alberta, Ontario, all went to the guys.
It's
who were
all
like, hey.
it's all gonna flip to conservative. I'm positive.
Yo, shout out to friend comedian Richard Colbar, local comedian from Ottawa, right? Good people. Anyways. And he made an observation. He immigrated to this country, if I read this wrong, or his mother immigrated to this country during the war, and his mother was getting a lot of shit from oh, you're one of them Germans, you know what I mean? Not even take the time to establish Nazis and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But basically, they were treating her like she was a Nazi, and he was getting, and he still remembers that, and he also remembers people constantly telling him as a German, hey, how come you guys didn't do anything about it? And I say, yo, history's repeating itself. You have everyone, all these conservative fucking, we don't see racism, but we're still racist. We use racism to our benefit groups, winning all these elections. And then, and it says, don't be surprised. You guys are repeating.
But they've been doing this for years. My problem is the average person, like the person that who's supposed to be liberal, and then they turn to you and say, I'm sick of identity politics. So when you talk about race, and it's those people that are like, those are the ones that are going to be like, yeah, you're the motherfucker because you're a white dude sick of identity. But I always think about that good guy that was mad at me for not allowing him to give me his opinion on Black Panther. And how that fucking ate at him for a while. And I'm just like, those are the people that we have to worry about. Like the politicians are always going to figure out a way to get what they want and lie, especially if the right is going to always lie, because no person who doesn't make under $1 million should be voting conservative. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense at all. It makes no sense. Like look at Doug Ford with this tax. They're talking about how he's putting these stickers on the gas tanks. It's his sticker company, first of all. Secondly, it's like so they're talking about 14 cents, and like 4 cents is federal. 4 cents is part of the federal government. They won't mention this. The rest is provincial tax. Out of the 14 cents. So it's like they're not going to tell you the truth. And even if I was in Ontario and I voted conservative, I would be insulted the way they treated me with the buck of beer shit and the fucking alcohol in parks. I would be insulted because that's how they see me.
No. Here. Okay, so for my friend there, when I mentioned Richard, what I like about his comment says, don't be surprised if we end up with a future that we're later gonna have to apologize for again. You know what I mean? We haven't let. And
but the people that are going to suffer are not the people who are making these decisions. Like when they're talking about UCP and like who cares about racism, they're absolutely right, because if shit comes down and we end up in a, God forbid, a situation like what happened in Nazi Germany or whatever. Who's going to suffer? It's not not white people. It's white people are going to be back and go, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. That's all they got to deal with. It's like, oh wow, we turned into that. That fucking sucks.
Well, actually,
it's us that suffers. It's not. Yeah.
Imagine you're one of those people who know how to take advantage of chaos.
Yeah.
In that case, you love this kind of shit. I know how to make.
Hello?
I know how to make money. Hello.
Yeah, you kind of it got fuzzy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I know how to benefit from. I know how to make money from chaos.
Yeah.
And if you're that kind of person, then the future looks wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna make a ton of cash.
Yep.
All right, so we all agree we're gonna die. So sooner than later, I think. If it's not the environment, it'll be racism. So
again, we're expressing thoughts here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, this is a doomsayer podcast. This is,
yeah, it is what it is.
Fuck that, man. I'm getting my Uncle Ruckus on, And sorry, who knows next season who Be Black will be for next season.
We'll see. Next season we'll see. All right, let's end it on that. This is our second last bonus episode. Let's end it on that.